Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. As you guys know, Ethereum has been breaking out and has been impulsing and outpacing the rest of the market. This is exactly what we wanted to see for a confirmed alt season, because anytime Ethereum is leading the market, that shows the way for the rest of the altcoins. We've been waiting for this moment for over 700 days, and we finally got the confirmation that we need. And so today I wanted to go through and give you guys an all-around update with Ethereum. We're going to dive into the short time frames, we're going to dive into the midterm, and then we're also going to be looking at price predictions for the long-term future as well, because this thing is going to be blowing up with all of the wake of DeFi, with all of the funds being locked away, and now with even Yearn Finance starting to lock away Ether. Expect this price to move very fast. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. And always remember, guys, I have the fastest growing and the very best Discord community out there for cryptocurrency, and you guys are definitely going to want to join. This is a way where you can congregate with the rest of my community of over 16,000 members. Share your own analysis, share your own perspective, and engage with an amazing community that I have built. The way you guys get access is to click inside the description of this video, and there you're going to find the invitation link to my Discord channel. Now, once you guys have access, I also offer my more exclusive content like the video course and signals. I also want to let you guys know that by the end of this week, I will be releasing my website, and I will be doubling the prices on the signals. So if you guys want to get access for the signals at that 50% discount, make sure that you guys get in before the end of the week when my website releases, because I will be doubling the prices on only the signals. The course will stay the same. So make sure that you guys stay all the way to the end of this video, because I'm going to be taking a couple minutes to explain how you guys can get signed up, the pros of doing so, and what it's going to take to get you guys going today. Alrighty guys, we've got a lot of really exciting stuff to talk about with Ethereum. I know that you guys are going to love this video because this thing is going to provide a ton of profit. So without further ado, let's jump right into it today. Alrighty guys, now here we are taking a look at Ethereum. Now some of you guys may be wondering, hey Donna, why the heck are you wearing sunglasses? And really it's just because I'm a cool son of a gun, and here we are making all this profit, and so you got to put on the shades to just really set in stone the mood, right? You know, we're all here making all this life-changing money. You know, this is the time where we put on the Ray-Bans. This is the time where all the girls start flocking to us, because we are the ultimate OGs inside of this market. People like us that have been investing into Ethereum are now reaping the rewards because we've been telling everybody from the beginning that this was going to happen. You know, we've been so adamant about buying. Even when COVID was going on, we kept buying, we kept ignoring the FUD, and now we are the people that are reaping all of those rewards. And so if you've got some Ray-Bans, if you've got some shades, throw them on for this video, because we are the coolest people inside of the crypto community here at the DIY investing team. Now, what I noticed with Ethereum, guys, is just a couple things. We're going to brush up on the short term, midterm, and we're going to go into the long term as well, look at some price predictions, because this is going to be a really cool analysis for you guys. Now, kind of the things that I've been watching for are a couple different levels. Now, this was the major level that I had been watching for as a resistance. Now, when we had 2017, you know, this was a short-term resistance here before we ended up getting that blow off top. You know, we sold off, we ended up retesting this, we got a strong bounce, but then we sold through it, right? We ended up crashing all the way down here to December at about 80 bucks. We ended up having this dead cat bounce back up to this resistance. But at this point, you know, instead of it acting as support, this was just resistance, and then we fell lower. A lot of people got shaken out. Nobody was willing to buy Ethereum. Everybody was saying how it was going to go to zero because, oh, it's too slow. When in actuality, literally so many of the cryptos are built on Ethereum, over 80% of them, that if you're wishing for Ethereum to fail, you're literally shooting yourself in the head in the process, which just makes no sense. You don't want to be that type of guy that, you know, makes these weird belief systems over just lack of knowledge. Because, guys, to see Ethereum succeed is only going to benefit the rest of the cryptos, and we want to see Ethereum to succeed. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you think it's too slow, it is slow and it doesn't really scale, but that's what ETH 2.0 is going to solve. But by you hating on Ethereum, you know, you're kind of just wishing on the whole rest of the market to fall in that place, and that's, in my opinion, just kind of silly. Now, This was where we had this resistance. We made an attempt to kind of break above that. We got rejected. This was COVID. And now we finally flipped this level, right? In my last update, I told you guys how this was a support and resistance flip, and we were going to get a buyback, which is exactly what we're seeing here today. A nice green candle starting to break out, make higher highs, which is going to take us to the next resistance level, which in my opinion is going to take us upwards of about $800, about right here. Right, this is where I'm going to be watching for Ethereum. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that this is what's going to be coming next. Now, it is possible that we're going to see a short-term pullback at around $570 approximately, somewhere around there. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if we got a pullback around 500. 500 doesn't make sense. I think that we'll get a pullback somewhere at around $570. You know, we might skirt up here like this, and then sell off, and then keep going up for this upwards of resistance at $800. That's going to be what I'm watching for personally. You know, this is the part of the market where people are going to be underestimating the power of Ethereum, and I would not be surprised if we blew past $800 entirely, because the thing that people are failing to realize is the fact that, you know, this was a long period of time worth of consolidation here. In fact, if we pull up our date tool, we entered this little point clear over here. We exited this point clear over here. 724 days worth of consolidation in which we were inside of this eternal death range, right? So much time for anybody to accumulate cheap ether. If you didn't accumulate cheap ether, you know, this is why you need to just understand that this is the way cycles work. You know, you want to buy when everything's the most cheap, even if it's scary, even if it just goes up and down, you're not really making anything. You just want to buy it regardless, because when this thing starts to go up, they don't wait around, because we saw what 2017 was like, right? I hope. If you didn't, just look at this chart. Pretty much nothing but straight parabolic movement. And this is more or less what I'm expecting this time around once again. And it's looking very, very encouraging for us holders right now. I'm super excited with everything that we're seeing right now in Ethereum. And, you know, I look at this chart and I see such a long accumulation. This was such a great period of time, and we just barely flipped this resistance. This is now acting as support. And so this is truly the first little bit of genuine price discovery that we've had in quite some time. Now, obviously, we're not past all-time highs, so it's not authentic price discovery, but this is price discovery in its own sense as far as we're making higher highs on this new trend. And we should expect to see more impulsing coming, which is only going to continue to fuel more DeFi craze. It's only going to continue to fuel more production and development on the Ethereum blockchain. With ETH 2.0 coming out very soon, you know, we might actually get genuine scalability inside of ETH. Because I know for me, I'm getting screwed over with these ETH fees, these gas fees right now. Yesterday night, I bought this coin, and I only put like $4 grand into it. And off of $4 grand investment, it took $300 worth of a gas fee. That's more than most people make in a single day, which is just insane that, you know, every single day we're just kind of throwing away money due to gas fees because Ethereum's such a slow dinosaur. And it's crazy that so much is built on Ethereum. And so, you know, guys, this is why I'm hedged into like Cardano. This is why I'm hedged into some of the other projects, is because at the end of the day, I understand some of the limiting factors of Ethereum, but I still believe Ethereum is going to be the top dog. Now, none of the other coins have the same adoption, which is why I'm so heavily invested into Ethereum compared to Cardano. But nonetheless, I still think it's good to have a little bit of a hedged investment. In my opinion, Cardano is the next one in line. You could go with like EOS or something, but I'm not the biggest fan of EOS. I like Cardano much more. Now, with that being said, guys, I wanted to share with you guys a little pattern here. This is actually silver today, and now this is silver today. And you guys are going to see that this is a pretty identical market cycle to what we're seeing today inside of Ethereum. There's really not a lot of difference here. We have the rally up, blow off top, we start this consolidation, we sell off to our lowest point in the cycle, and this part here is identical. This was our lowest point. We make a dead cat bounce, get rejected, kind of struggle, get another attempt to break out, struggle again, and then we get a final sell-off to retest this low. And now we're breaking out, right? It's the exact same setup that Ethereum is doing today, and it's really cool because Ethereum is merely following silver. Ethereum is literally just following silver right now. It's the same cycle. Get the build up, blow off top. This is obviously more volatile. Same choppy action. We sell off. This is low number one. Dead cat bounce here. This is low. This is another attempt to break out. This is the final sell-off, and now this is us breaking out. And so really, silver is just kind of leading the way for Ethereum. And this thing has actually bounced up pretty significantly over the last couple weeks. I know for me, I was actually able to accumulate a little bit of silver back down in here, so I'm thankful for that. I don't have a huge amount of money invested into silver, but I do like precious metals and think that it is a good hedge. If you got a lot of cash laying around and you don't feel comfortable just over leveraging the crap out of yourself in crypto, you know, I'm pretty much over leveraged in crypto as far as that goes, but I'm 22 years old. I don't care. I could lose it all tomorrow, and at the end of the day, I still have a place to sleep because I'm okay. But a lot of you guys, you know, maybe you don't feel so comfortable going so heavy into cryptos. Precious metals are going to be a go-to because with the amount of money that they're just printing right now, it's such a perfect hedge. You don't want to hold cash, which, you know, I would like to diversify more cash, but then you got taxes and all this stuff to worry about, and so it's whatever. I'd like to increase my silver supply a little more, but I'm not going to worry about it. Now with this one, you know, we're already up to this 0.5 fib inside of silver. And so I really do think that Ethereum has that next shot of hitting that point, which if we actually pull up our fibs, let's actually see where that 0.5 Fibo is. So that 0.5 Fibo is going to take us to about $750, about $800, like I was stating before. But the thing about silver is it's going to break out again. And I really think that this sucker's headed to that 618 at about $32.50 per ounce of silver. How cool is that, guys? This thing is getting ready to just straight pump. And with gold breaking out of all-time highs, silver is really going to move good. And it's going to outperform gold as far as percent return goes. So that's why I actually prefer silver over gold. You know, I mean, if I have to pick one of them, I'm just going to hold silver because it's more undervalued. There's more of a use case than gold. And these markets are kind of more manipulated than anything. But, you know, that's whatever. That's just the silver markets and banks. Now, with that being said, guys, the 618 for Ethereum would take us clear up to $900, which I think is more than reasonable considering the fact this was a 724-day consolidation. We went in this range for 724 days. I often state on this channel, the greater the accumulation, the longer the accumulation, the bigger the expansion, right? So the more time that a coin bases, the more time it builds a foundation, the bigger that the expansion on the upside is going to be. I mean, you got to look at it from like a perspective as building a tower. You know, you could build a tower with a really small base, and it might take you, you know, a quarter of the amount of time as somebody that built a huge tower with a bigger base. But at the end of the day, you can only go so high up before the amount of momentum, the amount of weight, and the wind, and all of this different factoring physics come in to where it would literally knock the building over, right? Now, that's why if you want to build a building that goes higher, higher, and higher up into the air, you got to build a much more sturdy foundation. The same principle can be applied to cryptocurrencies. You know, the only way that we're going to have a huge bull run is if we create a big, strong base and a strong support, because we need buyers to accumulate. We need that momentum to build, to grow, until finally, you know, we get this markup where the demand becomes too great, the supply is outweighed significantly, and this is where we get the markup in price. And this is where we're just barely starting the bull run. Guys, this is the very, very, very beginning of things. And it's going to be so much fun to be here to trade this stuff because I'm telling you right now, as somebody that's been here since 2016, somebody that's seen these cycles, you know, I've made a lot of money off these cycles, and I'm so hyped for you guys, most importantly, because I'm telling you, this is going to be the biggest one yet. It's going to be bigger than 2016. It's going to make 2016 look like a little fart in the wind, and I guarantee that, guys. This is the first time we have institutional adoption. This is what we're seeing, you know, with decentralized finance. You know, this is kind of the first major catalyst for this bull run is DeFi, I've noticed. And anything to do with DeFi, yield farming, all of that type of stuff, you know, it's all through Ethereum that's possible. And obviously now we're getting other platforms, Balancer, Yearn, all of these other things that are actually correlated to that. But at the end of the day, it's all reliant upon Ethereum to some degree. And so that's the thing we need to understand here. Ethereum is going to be a huge catalyst for this bull run. And in fact, it will outperform Bitcoin. And that's why I have much, much, much more money invested into Ethereum than I do Bitcoin. There's no point in me holding much Bitcoin in this cycle because Ethereum's going to outperform it the whole way up. And so that's the way this cycle is going to be different. In the last cycle, you know, Bitcoin was very profitable. Bitcoin outperformed a lot of altcoins. This cycle is going to be different. Bitcoin's not going to perform the majority of the altcoins. In fact, you're going to make way more money holding altcoins with good fundamentals, with good track records, and those are going to be the things that you want to invest in. You know, people that are buying Bitcoin right now, they're kind of showing up late to the game. Really what you're doing right now is kind of buying everybody else's bags that have been here forever. You're not going to make the same return. The people that show you Bitcoin maximalists, they're the people that got into Bitcoin clear back in the early days. So it's in their best interest that they show you Bitcoin. You know, I wouldn't give a crap about altcoins if I was a multimillionaire from buying Bitcoin back in 2011, right? And the same rule can be applied to all these influencers that you guys are following. If they're a Bitcoin maximalist, understand that they got into Bitcoin way early, or understand that they have so much money already amassed that when they are buying Bitcoin, they don't give a crap if it pulls a 10x return or 100x return. They're making so much money that it's obsolete at that point. Understand those things. For me, I'm here to maximize the fullest potential of my portfolio. I want to make the most ROI for myself. And in turn, is Bitcoin going to do that? For Bitcoin to go from $10,000 to $100,000, that is such a monumental increase in market cap, but the price is only 10x. You know, 10x is nothing in crypto. I've seen that happen time and time again. I've made over 10x in less than a month. In fact, I have 3 signals right now that are over 10x within the last 2 months. It's insane, guys. And so there's no point in me holding Bitcoin when I can make way more money, way quicker off these altcoins. And, you know, Ethereum is going to be that go-to for me. Now, let's actually dive in and take a look at the long-term approach for Ethereum, because in my opinion, guys, this sucker is going to do so good, and I'm so excited for this type of stuff. And now I want to share with you guys kind of like my price predictions, I guess. And I normally don't dive into price predictions, and I already told you guys I'm not selling based off of price. I'm selling based off of time frames, but it's fun to speculate. It's all fun and games here on the DIY investing channel. You know, we're making so much damn money right now that why not? And so let's go through here. Now, like I stated at the beginning, you know, this is about as consistent as all of the other cycles. If you compare the time frames between this cycle to Bitcoin, the only real difference here is, you know, in 2016, Bitcoin started this uptrend at about this point here. Started that ascending triangle, and then it kept going, and then it just went more and more parabolic, right? That was kind of like what the Bitcoin cycle in 2015 looked like. The difference here is just the fact that Ethereum was more suppressed, and we had an opportunity to accumulate Ethereum at a lot cheaper values. But now that the markup is taking place, I'm not expecting a slow, methodical uptrend like Bitcoin did. I'm not expecting anything like this. I'm expecting pretty much just pure euphoria. Quick pumps, sharp sell-offs, and then bigger pumps in turn. Stuff like this, guys. And that's why it pays to get in early with these cycles, is because if you weren't ready beforehand, you're just going to have to FOMO in right now, bite the bullet, say, gosh dang it, I messed up, I should have listened, yada, 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 whatever. Move on. Don't beat yourself up, because then you're just going to create the same perpetuating cycle and this bad habit. You just want to get some skin in the game. And especially now, guys, you're going to get a tax break. You got to hold your investments a year and a day in order to get that 20% off the top. If you don't, your taxes are going to be higher depending on what tax bracket you're in. And so for me, guys, you know, I gotta be really aware about my tax situation, because I've been here a lot longer. I've accumulated a lot more crypto than most people have. And for me, you know, I plan to scale out late fall, you know, early winter of 2021. And at that point, you know, I got to just be making sure that I'm holding my assets at least a year and a day so that I can make that 20% cut, right? Now, when I see this, when we do start breaking out of this all-time high mark, things are going to get parabolic. I see a lot of people making price targets for about $5,000, and I definitely think that's a strong, realistic opportunity for Ethereum, and I really do believe that. Now, a lot of people might look at this and be like, wow, $5,000 Ethereum, you're crazy. And you want to hear crazy? Because, you know, I think it's actually going to go a lot higher than that, personally. My personal targets for Ethereum are 10 to 20 grand. And a lot of you guys might be sitting here, oh, you dumb moon boy, you don't know anything. Yeah, well, I could argue that I know a lot more than you guys, otherwise you wouldn't be watching my channel so much for information, right? I've seen how parabolic these cycles get, and I don't need to sit up here and sound all cocky or anything. It's just the fact that I remember being in the same situation in 2015. I remember watching Bitcoin thinking, oh my gosh, if Bitcoin hit like $3,000, I'd be so blown away. And then what happens? It goes to $20,000. I did not see one single person back in those days actually come up with a realistic target. And obviously, I'm sure other people did manage to kind of predict that it would go up that high. But at the end of the day, I didn't see very many people doing that. And this time around, I think Ethereum is really going to see a big rise in market cap. You know, Ethereum has way more of a use case than Bitcoin ever will. Bitcoin's a store of value. Simple as that. It's not going to be a currency that we use every single day. It's going to be something that we kind of put our money into as a hedge against inflation. Ethereum is different. Ethereum not only is a little bit of a hedge against inflation because it is deflationary, but also There's so much active development on Ethereum, and that is what's going to drive utility. Utility is going to be a big thing for this cycle. How is Ethereum actually being used? How is it valuable? Well, there's so many coins building on Ethereum. There's so many projects, blockchains, smart contracts, all of this stuff. Bitcoin itself is one-dimensional. Ethereum itself is multi-dimensional, and you can have all of these different facets of value, right? And so for that, I genuinely believe that we could see Ethereum at $10,000 to $20,000. Who knows, guys? We could go even higher than that, which is why I'm not actually naming a price target. I'm scaling out based off of time frames because that's much more accurate in my opinion. The time frames are lining up perfectly with the last cycles, and for that, I'm going to be able to nail a more exact approach in this cycle by just following my intuition, holding the length of the trend, and scaling out based off of my time frames that I have listed. Because, guys, this is going to get insane. A lot of people are going to underestimate Ethereum. Nobody's actually going to believe that we're going to hit upwards of 10 to 20,000. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, well, that's going to be over $1 trillion in market cap. Are you serious, dude? You moon boy? And yeah, guys, I genuinely believe that because look how much money they just printed out of the Federal Reserve. All of the stimulus checks, all of this stuff. Just because the money supply grew by 30%, you have to factor that in to this market as well. We could far surpass $20,000, and it's so hard to actually make like a logical prediction about this stuff because of how much money they're constantly printing. We just barely had a big meeting, and the Federal Reserve announced that they were going to be upping the inflation to 2% annually. 2% annually is a lot of money. And on top of what they've already inflated it since COVID happened, if you're not holding crypto, if you're not holding precious metals, you're not holding some type of investment, your cash is becoming worthless, it was already worthless to begin with. But now you as a middle class citizen, you as a lower class citizen, or you as somebody that's actually part of the 1%, you're literally losing your buying power each and every day that you're holding cash. And people are going to flock to cryptocurrencies. We're seeing the coin shortage right now. You go to stores anywhere and you see the little sign, oh, we're experiencing a coin shortage. Please only use exact change. This is the type of stuff they're just prepping us for this digital society. I've been saying it forever. Nobody believed me, but now that we're actually starting to see this stuff happen, it's important to understand, guys. I've been very adamant about talking about this type of stuff because I knew it was going to happen. I did not expect us to be hyperinflating the crap out of the currency like we are right now. I kind of expected it to be a little bit more gradual and steady, but here we are, and this is why we've been investing. We were investing before COVID happened. We were investing before they started hyperinflating the currency. We were investing into this stuff a lot earlier than most people, and for that, most people are going to be getting in late, which is why, we're still really early. If you haven't bought anything, if you're still waiting on the sidelines, get the hell in this market because not only are you going to get yourself screwed over for tax situations, but you're also going to be stuck FOMO buying when this thing's breaking out. You don't want to be the idiot that starts buying when everything is breaking all-time highs because your taxes are going to be higher, your profits are going to be less, and you're just going to, probably end up buying the top and then selling the bottom like the emotional psychology works every single time. Which quickly, before we wrap up this video, I want to share with you guys this chart. So I always reference this chart, and I absolutely love it. It's such a good graphic to use. This is called the Wall Street cheat sheet. And this is showing the emotional psychology of a market cycle. Most people are buying when the prices are going up. We are not these type of people. If you look over here at this little graph, the peak point of maximum financial risk comes at the top of price. So as price is rising, comes the highest point of risk. Now, as the price decreases in value and contracts, the trough, this is the point of maximum financial opportunity. And this is where we, as investors, savvy investors at the DIY investing community, invest. This is where we buy because we are smart. We like to make money. We don't like to buy tops of market cycles. We like to buy when everybody else is fear. Buy that blood in the street, boys. That's what we are here to do every single day. And look, we did that. This is the same thing, guys. Do you see a difference here for the most part? It looks pretty much identical to me. After we go through this depression phase, this is where we start markup. This is called disbelief. This is where everybody believes, oh, this is a sucker's rally. Oh, Ethereum is never going to go up again. Yeah, it's breaking out right now, but doesn't mean anything. This is the disbelief phase, guys. This is the disbelief phase, which we've been talking about for oh so long. Right here, disbelief. So if you're sitting here wondering, am I too late to get in? No, you're not. You're still at the very beginning of this. In fact, you're actually at a more consistent time to get in than a lot of people. So like when we invest, we're kind of just buying with the faith and the trust that this thing is going to break out and start going up. And there's a lot more risk because very easily we could have just kept going down and then we would have lost all of our money, right? It's that simple. But we trust in these markets. We trust that there's enough value coming into these that's not going to be the case. And now, you know, if you're a little bit more conservative of a trader, this is where you want to be buying, because now we've broken from the previous high. We've made our first successful higher high in this new trend, right? This is our first higher high of the new bull trend. This is a definition of a bull trend, guys. All of the people before, they always tried to talk crap and make the argument, we haven't made a higher high, this is still bearish. Well, now we have, so what's your argument now? There isn't one. We are bullish. They are printing so much money. It's only going to cause the prices, or the perceived value, whether it's actually translated in real value or not. This is a hedge to our livelihood right now. It's aside from making financial fortunes, which we're going to do regardless, this is literally how we guarantee our livelihood for the future. Don't get shaken out. Don't listen to the FUD. Let's park our asses down for, you know, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 Ethereum and beyond, because this is where the real money lies, and you don't want to miss out on that. Now, with all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Quickly, before we wrap things up, I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about how you guys can sign up for the video course in signals, because I will be raising the prices. I'm going to be doubling the prices of the signals from $1,000 to $2,000. So if you guys want access and get on that early adopters list for the 50% discount, make sure that you get in right now, because I promise you, the amount of value inside of those signals is astronomical. And you know, we're starting to see that, pretty much shooting fish in the barrel. You buy one thing, it pumps. You buy another thing, it pumps. Sometimes we have to hold on to a little bit of a loss, but as a position trader, this is the way things go. You know, as a position trader, I'm fine holding on to a loss, because at the end of the day, I always know I'm going to be making a lot of profit in return. And now that we're seeing coins breaking out like this, you know, this is exactly what we want. So much money is going to be flooding into these markets, and that's why it pays to get into my group early on. You know, the website will be released in about a week. When that thing's released, I'm going to be upping the prices on the signals. The course is going to stay the same. You guys can buy either or. The course is 20 educational videos that are going to teach you guys all of my strategies for profiting, technical analysis skills, how to actually go about and trade these markets with technical analysis. And I'm also going to be adding more videos to that down the line as soon as that website's finished, because I have just too much time on my hands with that. Now, the signals obviously are just a way for you guys to copy all the trades that I take. I post every trade inside of a private channel in Discord. You guys get access to that private channel, and then you guys can actually congregate with the rest of the members that are in there, talk about the signals, talk about other things, and it's just a really good way to dive in with my community on an even more interpersonal level. Now, you guys can purchase them together, or you can purchase them separate. It's $1,000 each, or $2,000 for both. Remember that it's going to be $2,000 for the signals by the end of the week, so if you've been on the fence, make sure that you guys get into that early on. You guys can pay credit or debit by clicking inside of the description of this video. There you're going to find the invitation link to my Selly. Now, you can also, if you'd like to pay in crypto, you can join my Discord server, message me on there, or you can email me by finding my email once again in the description of this video as well. With all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for the support. I'm so hyped with everything that we're seeing. I'm so hyped that you guys are going to be able to make all of this life-changing wealth, and now all of our dreams are coming true. So with all that being said, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.